What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Microphone Jones, and today I'm gonna be showing you how to mix like this. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's on the mic, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know I'm cool, no fool. I go to school. I ain't a tool. That's no bull. Yeah, yeah. Cool like that. Yeah. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with the drums on this, since this is a very R&B hip hop driven track. So our drum sets, things are a little messy right now. We have the Kong, we have the redrum. Okay, I had to clean up a little bit on this track because things were just messy. I'm gonna disconnect. I'm gonna make 6 of these. I think I made 7, but anyway. Go kick, snare, hi-hat, toms, sound effects, and we'll delete this other one right here. Right click, delete. All right, I'm gonna add a line mixer in here. Actually, let's go F function, which is Fn, and go in here. We'll go other. We're gonna throw a line mixer in here. It's important that we don't place that in the sound effects area, because if we do, we won't have any place to place our compressors and our final effects. So just make sure you don't do that. All right, add a spider to this. Maybe add another one. All right. So we have BD. Anything that's BD, we're gonna go ahead and put to this kick. So what this spider does is basically splits up the signal, and it gives you a nicer sound, a thicker sound. See how nice that kicks? This really so you can bus your sound together. So for this will be the snare. We're gonna put everything that says SD into here. Snare 1. There you go. This is gonna be the rim shot. We're gonna do the tom. And I hope you notice I'm pushing tab. Okay. And actually we have more than one tom, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna add some more of this beautiful line mixer. Yes, add the line mixer. We're going to drag to the toms, put the line mixer in. Okay. And also we're going to put one here for the hi-hat. And let's do one for the sound effects too, just save time. All right. Here's the toms. Bam. And we're going to do hi-hats. See how that sounds. And we have cymbals. since we don't have any sound effects, let's change this to cymbals. Cymbals, they have a different dynamics than hi-hats. Some they, they're at the same frequency almost, but just the way they carry the dynamics, I always like to put them on a separate channel. All right, so we have our stuff together here. Now let's go to our other drum set, which is right here. Let's go ahead and drag that over. And we could do the same thing with this. Basically, you can go ahead and drop that into a spider. And then we can place it over here. And you notice that I'm not giving this drum set its own thingamajigger. I'm using the same channel. Okay, and for this too, what we need to do is disconnect this from its mixer channel. Go ahead and delete this. Hit Command Delete just to skip the questions. Number 2. Just gonna go straight in. All right, let's add this SS. I don't know what this SS stands for. I guess it's snare. I don't know. We'll see what it is. Yep. Okay, we have a conga block, which sounds more like a tom, so I'm gonna throw that in toms. It has clav. I'm gonna throw that. I'm just reminded we need to add another channel. And we're gonna call this percussions. And actually, I'm gonna put it down here since we're a little bit closer to it. So let's go ahead and add a mix channel. And what we're gonna do is gonna add that line mixer. I'm gonna call this percussions. Because percussions, they do have a different dynamic. So we're trying to get the things with the same dynamics and the same frequencies together. This right here, oops, Control Z. This sounds more like a snare. So we're gonna go ahead and move this over to the snare instead of tom. So let's go to snare. Let's put this in there. All right. Clav, we're gonna put the percussions. That's a conga. We're gonna move this conga over to the percussion. So let's do that because it is that percussion sound to it. All right. We got our toms right here. We're gonna go to the toms. And here's another tom. And the good thing about this is that if you decide not to mix in Reason, you can always just export all this stuff out and all the files will be together. So, oops, that's the wrong one. There we go. Let's do the hi-hat. Let's do this hi-hat right here. really see. There you go. Yeah, that's the problem with this. Sometimes you can't really see all that's going on. All right. And we got this LO thing here, which is non-existent. And we won't worry about that. All right, so we have done the hardest part of the mix, which is mixing the drums. So good job if you've gotten this far. Okay, now we're going to go into the place where we talk about the compressor and the dynamics of this. So let's just play this back and hear the drums. Okay, for some reason, one of the kicks is on the left side. I don't know which. It's not that one. It's not that one. Sounds like this one. Sounds like it's just going to the left side. Let's see what's up with that. Let's see why this thing is just going to the left. Guess that's just the way it sounds, just the way it is. We can offset that by using this, because I don't really want it to sound like it's just all left. It is at the 0. That's just the way that thing is made, I'm guessing. Yeah. But we definitely want that. We want to get it to be center. So if we do this, kind of balance it out. Hopefully you won't run into that problem when mixing other things. Okay, so we got all our stuff good right now. Now what we need to do is play with the dynamics. So let's go up to our main mixer, our main mixing console. We're going to actually add some effects here first. We're going to add some chorus. All right, so this is where we want to place the effects. So it goes to auxiliary, so we can add our effects. So we got the, I don't like that reverb right there. You can add the echo, you can add this reverb right here. We want to add some delay. Back here you see we have our sound effect sends. This is pretty cool because this will show you how to do it in real life anyway. So we have our audio input. We're going to get that from a send, and then we put it into return. This is how you would do it in real life anyway. So it's kind of good to have it. Let me show you it in real life. So here's our delay. It's going to come out from there, and we're going to go back in. And for this one, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to come out, then it's going to go in, and then for this last one, we're going to go in, and we're going to go out. Which is our return. All right. So now, isn't that beautiful? They even have a control room out, which you can hitch to another part of your sound card if it's really, really big. All right, so let's go back up to our mixer. And you see we have our returns here. Everything's there. So I did all that to do this. So we have our snare. We're going to turn on and enable all that stuff, all that jazz. The chorus flinger is one thing you really need to look at, because basically that right there, it is going to change the way things sound dramatically. So now we have all these effects on our, we're going to turn these down. One thing that I really want to emphasize on the snare and to really bring stuff out is going to be chorus. We do add some reverb to make things, you know, a little bit more blended, but we don't want to overdo that. So we're just going to turn these down real quick. I'm going to turn some chorus up. We have our hi-hat. I'll put some chorus on that. Alright, now we're in the position to actually add some dynamics to this stuff. So, without further ado, let's go down to the kick. Let's go ahead and unmute all this stuff. Something's on solo. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the kick, take the effects, MC class equalizer. Let's add the compressor. Let's add the maximizer. Good. We just added all that stuff. And so now let's go ahead and shape the kick. Turn these on. Okay, we're going to drop the EQ. Oh, I always like to go and turn the EQ up to 20 kilohertz, like the frequency range, and then drop everything down from there to kill out the alias sound. Makes it sound a lot better. Okay, and what else we're going to do is we're going to drop the higher end of this kick. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's compress this kick. Gonna turn up the input. You're gonna turn down the ratio. Gonna turn that up. Gonna add some attack to that, and then that's pretty much compressed now. Add a nice little sound. Let's see how that sounds. And what I'm just trying to listen to and listen for it. All right, so that's good. All right. want to add that same kind of chain to every channel. A good way to do this, once you get all your settings intact, is to save it and then just open it up in this channel up here so you can tweak them. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna go to the snare, add the effects, compressor, maximizer. All right, so this is the snare. And so we cut around like 150 for this stuff. So about 150. All right. Let's hear how that sounds. Add some compression. All right, that's good. As long as we're adding that dynamics to the channel, it's gonna sound better. All right. Yeah, yeah, cool like that. Yeah. Bring it back. What? Go. Go. Yeah, go. Come on. All right, now we just got to add that to the rest of the channels. So what we're gonna do, let's see. That snare is a little hot, so we can use that compression a little bit more. So let's see. All right. Yeah. And what I pretty much did there is I increased the threshold, and well, not the threshold, but the ratio, which it flattens at the top. In other software, you'll see this ratio kind of like a curved off kind of thing. It looks, yeah, kind of like this right here. But it pretty much cuts the frequencies, make sure everything cuts the volume, the intensity of the volume down on all the instruments, so it'll be like a flat, consistent sound. So that's our kick, that's our snare. What I'm gonna do to speed up this process is I'm basically go ahead and save this as a snare, or call it starting dynamics. And I'm gonna do that for the rest of, I'm gonna just add this to the rest of the stuff. All right. Now let's go to the bass. We're gonna do that. We're gonna put start dynamics. Yeah. Just on the mic. Yeah. You know I'm cool. No fool. I go to school. I ain't a tool. That's the old. Yeah, yeah, cool like that. Yeah. Bring it back. What, go. Go, yeah, go. Come on, oh gosh. All right, so now it's starting to sound a little bit more like it needs to sound. Okay, for this bass, if we hit that show effects, we can hit tab. Basically, we want to reset this. It's funny they have no reset button in here. Okay. I'm gonna turn that gain up, right? And we are going to turn this down, right? Okay. What, go. Go. Yeah, go. Come on, all right, so good. So there's another technique called notching, but this equalizer doesn't have enough of it. If you want to do notching, you'll have to add some more equalizers on there. But basically, notching is like, which doesn't seem like I need to do it in this situation unless my equipment is really crappy or if I really want to get deep. Probably show you that in another tutorial. But basically is if you notch out 80 hertz on the kick, you'll put 80 hertz up in the bass to make it so it's a notch in it, and everything sounds like a puzzle that's coming together. But for this instance, this system's so good that it doesn't seem like it needs it. You probably could improve with that or do it like that, so it would improve. But the only sad thing is that this equalizer doesn't have all the EQs in it to actually do the notching properly. You have to just add more EQs, which is totally possible. But anyway, I don't think this needs it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do this to the rest of the stuff. So the bass sounds pretty good. It sounds bouncy. Yeah, cool like that. Yeah. Bring it back. What, go. Go. Now we just need to do the rest of the tracks like this. So we can open up our preset that we made called Starting Dynamics, because Starting Dynamics needs to go through all these channels, basically every single one of them. It makes everything sound, it's like compressing everything into a box in order so you can ship it off into people's ears. So it's nicely packed and it explodes in people's ears. Okay. So let's just see what is making music. Okay, you can see this right here. The less attack we have, which is, or the higher we go in the attack, the more dynamic the sound is going to be, which can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. I think I want to turn this up just a little bit. Also, the release, it plays with the dynamics too. You can either squash your sound or you can let it be free. And sometimes things need to be squashed because you can't fit all those dynamics in one song without things sounding crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know I'm cool, no fool. I go to school. I ain't a tool. That's the rule. Yeah, yeah. Cool like that. Yeah. Bring it back. What? Go. Go. Yeah. Go. Come on. Okay, also what I'm looking for here is what stuff is actually playing, because some of the stuff I don't even think I have sounds on it. I'm gonna have to delete it just to clean up so I can actually see what's going on here. All right, these are snaps, so we want to add that to that and say snaps, put the starting dynamics on it. I'm gonna add a gate to this up here. Oh, where's that gate? Sometimes stuff is so messy you can't really see where stuff is at. And see, that sounds a lot better because when there's no signal, the gate just cuts it out. Now let's go down to the rack of that. I'm gonna open this up. Actually, you know, the faster way to get there is to hit this edit inserts, bam, and it opens it up. And I really want to push this signal. All right. So that sounds good. I'll probably add a little bit of high end to it. Try not to go over 6 because sometimes stuff gets ridiculous. All right. Okay, so I'm adding gates to this stuff. Add gates to all of the vocals because they sound like a mess. I'm gonna bypass that Neptune. Yeah, that got the mess squeezed out of it, which is good. We're gonna turn that gain up. I don't want to take too much body out of my vocal right now.
Yeah, yeah. Just on the mic, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know I'm cool. No fool. I go to school. I ain't a tool. That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, let me show you what I did on the vocal too. If you go to the vocal, you'll notice that if we could find the vocal, it should say main vocal. Here goes main vocal. I had a preset already that I had created, but it's basically the 3 in the chain. Only thing I added was a pulverizer in the screen. So that's all that's there. All right, now we gotta mess with the Thor, which is the lead, and after that, we're almost there. We're almost there. We just gotta add the master, and from there we're good. So the track is already sounding a lot better.
Bring it back. What? That's no fool.
There we go. So we'll add that to that, and then we can add some other effects to, like maybe the bass. The bass can use a little chorus to it, so we'll add that there. And let's hear how this whole thing sounds. these snaps can use some chorus on them, so I'm gonna do that for that. Makes it stand out. Now these sound very annoying. I hate the way it sounds. It sounds like slop and junk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some gates. I'm gonna add. It has a gate, but it needs some effects to it or something, because it just sounds disgusting. It sounds like spit. That sounds worse. I'm gonna turn that down. Probably add some chorus to it to make it sound thicker. I don't know, something gotta happen to it. But it sounds disgusting. I just don't like the way that sounds. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too picky, but no. I'm gonna set the threshold up higher. All right, that's good. What else we got here? All this stuff right here, all these audio tracks, I'm gonna try to clean up a little bit. And then for the last thing, I'm gonna have to add an effect to the main part, which is up here. Actually, you can see it right here. Also to the master section. Sometimes these are bypassed. But yeah, I'm gonna add some effects to here, and then that's gonna be the last thing. So actually, do it now. These don't actually have to be inside here. These can be actually on the outside, which makes more sense since it's not a channel effect. It's an auxiliary effect. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna show programmer. I'm gonna add starting dynamics just to make it easier on myself. I'm gonna turn these off. I'm gonna add another one. So one of these, this one right here, is to cut that top part off. This lower end, we're gonna drop it to the slowest thing. It's so weird how that bumps that up right there. So basically, I'm finishing this whole thing off with the master.
Yeah. You know I'm cool. No fool. I go to school. I ain't a tool. So, yeah, cool like that. Yeah. Bring it back. What? Go. Yeah, go. Come on.
So this right here is just pretty much precautionary to cut some stuff out that doesn't need to be there. Your hearing range is from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Everything else needs to be pretty much cut off because it makes noise, and it just makes the sound image just a little bit more blurry. So okay, we did that, and another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut at 58 kilohertz. I don't know why this frequency sounds better, but it just, well, I do kind of know. In all R&B music, you will notice a dip in the frequency range at 58 kilohertz, and it just makes things sound closer, more intimate, and it just sounds better. It just sounds better. So I cut around that area. All right, and then our compressor, we don't want to be super loose because we don't want too much.
Yeah, yeah. Just on the mic, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know I'm cool. No fool. I go to school. I ain't a tool. That's the bull. That's the bull. Yeah, yeah. Cool like that. Like that. Yeah. Bring it back. What? Go. Go. Yeah. Go. Come on.
Oh, almost forgot the horns. Yep, so we're gonna just go ahead and do the horns. Start dynamics, edit inserts, and let's see how that sounds. Okay, so I think that sounds good. All right, so that's our finished product right there.